Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. We join you today from the picturesque Illinois River in far northeastern Oklahoma to talk about the educational efforts geared toward our state's poultry producers that are now seeing results, including improved water quality. The slow winding bends and peaceful waters of the Illinois River make it one of Oklahoma's most beautiful natural resources. But not long ago, this mecca to outdoor leisure was struggling to coexist with one of our state's biggest agricultural contributors, poultry. According to the USDA, broiler production contributes more than $700 million to the Oklahoma economy each year, behind only cattle and hogs.
But right now today we're in here with our baby chicks. They're 5 days old. We place the chicks, we set the house up kind of like what you see it here today, with feed trays along with the automatic feeders. We've got the nipple drinkers that provide water to the chicks. But we place the chicks in here at day one, the day they hatch, and they'll remain in here until they go to processing.
And that is where we come back to the river, because after the broilers leave, their waste litter is removed from the house and applied to agricultural land. Josh Payne is an OSU animal waste specialist. He says a lack of understanding of this fertilizer's components and its impact on the watershed contributed to nutrient problems downstream.
30 years ago, we as scientists and also the producers weren't as aware of phosphorus being a limiting nutrient and having concerns and issues with watersheds. So we tended to focus more of our attention on nitrogen management. Now that we've determined that phosphorus is more of a concern, the mindset of the producers and the industry has changed to help reduce the negative environmental impact and better manage this byproduct that is coming from the poultry industry.
10 years ago, most of the litter was just applied locally. We had a challenge in the watershed, and because of that, there's many different entities that work together, and poultry integrators as well as producers have worked together to focus on getting it put in the place that does the most good, sampling of the litter and sampling the soil and applying accordingly. It's even made our litter go farther because we're not over-applying as we once were.
In fact, to many, this byproduct has become an important moneymaker.
Approximately 90% of the poultry litter that's being produced in northeast Oklahoma watersheds like Uchee-Spavinaw and the Illinois River watershed is actually being moved outside of the watershed to soils that are deficient in phosphorus, and they can actually use that. You would be surprised about 70% of the soils in Oklahoma are actually phosphorus deficient.
The litter has become a commodity that we're able to market and help improve our bottom line.
Back at the river, Josh Payne explains that this turnaround in Oklahoma's poultry industry is no accident. The changes are the result of regulation, research, and education.
What the state did was to pass some regulations to address proper management of manure when it's taken out of a poultry house and then land applied. As part of those regulations, Oklahoma State University Cooperative Extension Service was given the responsibility of educating producers on proper nutrient management, how to properly manage their manure for land application, base it on agronomic rates, looking at soil tests, looking at litter analysis, calibrating spreader trucks, etc. All this was given to Oklahoma State University, and the Cooperative Extension Service has actually been providing continual mandatory education for both poultry producers and poultry manure applicators for the past 15 years.
And now you're seeing some measurable impacts as a result of that consistent educational push?
Absolutely, and it's not something that we would expect to see overnight. This is going to take some time. It took some time for the water quality concerns to arise, and it's going to take some time to see these improvements, but fortunately we are starting to see some of those improvements now. For example, we're seeing phosphorus loading reductions in the Uchee-Spavinaw watershed of around 31%. This is in both Spavinaw Creek and in Beatty Creek. A recent research publication is showing that Illinois River phosphorus trends are actually reducing, so our water quality is improving.
We all want to, help preserve the environment for our future generations. I've got 3 young daughters that I want to leave, make sure that I do my part to leave the environment as good or better than we found it, so to speak.
One place you can learn more about this topic and what is being done to manage these resources is a poultry waste website Payne and his colleagues maintain.
It's loaded with fact sheets, regulatory information. All of this information is related to bettering poultry waste management. We also have an Oklahoma litter market website, and the idea behind that is to connect buyers and sellers and service providers of poultry litter.
You can find links to these sites at sunup.okstate.edu.